Shabbat Shalom to everybody today. I'm Rabbi Robert B. Holman Jr., and this is First Tabernacle Fellowship, Yahweh's Exiled Empire. To the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, we give you praise. We give you thanks for your mercies and for your grace that you have shown to us during this time of exile. We gather today on this day because you have commanded us to do so, but we do so out of love to you, Most High El. We thank you for life. We thank you for strength. We thank you for the faculties of our minds to be able to resonate with your word and understand your word, your teachings. We ask you, Father, to let this day be filled with your spirit. Fill the place where we have gathered. Let the teacher that's teaching feel your power and your anointing. Let the worship go forth according to your divine plan and will. Let all flesh be silent in your presence. Father, we pray that you would give strength to those wherever Hebrew Israel is gathered today. Open their eyes, open their ears, that they might teshuvah and turn back to you. We give you praise and we give you thanks. Amen. You are the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me in your way. I want to be right. I want to be whole. I want to be the one you call your own. You are the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me in your way. I want to be right. I want to be whole. I want to be the one you call your own. So take me away and wrap me in your arms. Take me away and whisper words of love. Take me away. I want to be on your will, Yahweh. Wanna be the one. Let me be the one. Wanna be the one you call your own. You are the healer that healeth me. You're my provider. You provide my needs. Hey, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I wanna be the one you call your own. Here we go. So take me away. Wrap me in your arms. Take me words of love. Take me, Yahweh. I want to be in your will, Yahweh. Let me be the one, yeah. I want to be the one. I want to be the one you call your own. Let me be the one. I want to be the one. Want to be the one you call your own. You are the healer that healeth me. Hey. You're my provider. You provide my needs. Hey. I give you my heart. Hey. I give you my soul. I want to be the one you call your own. Want to be the one. Let me be the one. Want to be the one you call your own. Want to be the one you call your own. He's Yahweh. Hey. He is my Redeemer. Hey. He is Yahweh. Hey. The lover of my soul. I find peace and rest knowing who is. I found love and joy and all that he gives. His name is above all names. The angels cry, holy, holy, holy is his name. He is Yahweh. Hey. He is my Redeemer. Hey. He is Yahweh. Hey. He's the lover of my soul. He's not Muhammad nor Buddha. Crystal's not his name. He is mighty with power that all the earth proclaim. There will come a day when everyone will say, let every bronco claim Yahweh. Yahweh. He's Yahweh. Yahweh. He's not Muhammad nor Buddha. Crystal's not his name. He is mighty with power that all the earth proclaim. Hey, there will come a day, come on, where everyone will say, and every tongue proclaim Yahweh. I love that day. He is my Redeemer. Yeah, yeah. He's Yahweh. He's the lover of my soul. He is Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. For this is the day Yahweh has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. For this is a beautiful day. And for all of you who are watching by whatever stream of media, may the peace of Yahweh be with you. And I bid you shalom. Here we go. Y'all know it. When I wake, hey, when I sleep, when I take a breath to speak. Oh, I'm not afraid. I have no fear. When you call my name, it draws me near. It's good to know that wherever I go, you are there. In the evening, through the day, I will lift my voice and say, I will worship, I will praise. Yahweh, teach me in all your ways. It's good to know that wherever I go, you are there. You are there. Come on, here we go. There is joy in loving you. You give peace to liberty. There's no other one I adore. You are everything to me. You got my every footstep. When I fall, you carry me. I exalt and I praise your name. Tell them why. You are Abba to me. Here we go. You are there. You are there. You are there.
when I wake, when I sleep, when I take a breath to speak. I'm not afraid. I have no fear. When you call my name, it draws me near. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, put your hands together and give Yahweh some praise. He is that good. He is that good. How many know that he is that good? I come to you with my hands upraised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. I come to you. Hands up and raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. Here we go, verse 1. The river of living water that flows the life through me. You're the all-consuming fire, you're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. Here we go. I come to you. Hands up and praise, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Come on, verse 1 again. The river of living water that flows to life to me. You're the all-consuming fire, you're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes, the essence of all things. I come to you. Here we go, come on, I come to you. Hey, with hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Come on, my soul says yeah. 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 Yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. I come to you. With the hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. Verse 2. Light of times of darkness, I put my faith in thee. You were there with me in battle, I claim the victory. I worship and adore you. Elohim, you are my king, I come. Here we go, come on. My soul says yeah. Hey, my soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Hey, my soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. I come to you. With hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. I come to you. With hands upraised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. Shalom.
Well, it's another day. And it's a great day. as we get ready to move into our Passover season, on the Hebrew calendar, Passover will be sundown this Friday. And we'll be in order this year. We won't be 13 days early, and we won't be 13 days late, since the Most High has been so gracious to us to help us to understand and given us a teacher to explain to us the Father's time and the Father's calendar. We are blessed. We are blessed above measure to be in the state that we are in, to have wisdom and knowledge and the explanations of the Father's text brought to us in such a way that we gain understanding. I tell you that there's no greater place to be than to be in the favor of the Most High El. Yahweh is in the process of opening up the eyes of his people. And his people are still stuck in things that they're not sure, don't know how to get out of. But here at First Tabernacle Fellowship here in the city of Sacramento, California, we are a people who are going to tell you the truth. We're not going to spiritualize the text. And the one thing that I guess that is kind of I don't know how to put it, but our people like sensationalism. They like to be sensationalized. They like to be entertained. And the Most High's word was not designed to entertain you. It was designed to help you to connect with him, love him, obey him, and live a life of righteousness outside of the four walls. The interesting thing about being Hebrew is that it's a way of life. So it's really not about four walls. It's about what you do every day in your life. And what we do every day in our life allows us to be who we are. Doesn't ask us to change. Be who you are, but just be right. How do we define this thing that's called set apartness and righteousness? It's just the way we live our life. And if we live our life according to the dictates of the Most High, guess what? You can have fun and you can enjoy your life as you live it out. Well, our ambassador teacher for today, Ambassador Sean Appleton, is going to come and he's going to share with you the things that the Most High has put on his mind and heart concerning this wonderful book of Shemuel. Ambassador Appleton.
Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yes. They got me in the house. There we go. Praise the mighty Yah. To Yahweh, the beneficent, the opulent, the creator of all things, the author and finisher, what we used to say, of our faith, who is selected a people, a remnant, who has created the sun, the moon, the stars, the things that we witness in nature, who's created our consciousness, because we are conscious beings, are we not? Who's done all these things, who has orchestrated and master planned from the beginning, starting with Adam, our ancestor, who lived 930 years. He died in the day. Because if a day is 1,000 years, then our ancestor died within the day, who from that moment forward provided his people a way back. A way back. Come on, all right. It's not resonating with y'all. I got to do something. I got to do something that y'all familiar with to wake you up. Okay? I got to do something you're familiar with that can wake you up. Because I haven't said Shabbat Shalom next, so I don't want you to respond yet. I got to do something to wake you up. How many of you went to school? You ever gone to school? Has anybody gone to elementary school? Middle school? High school? You remember going out to the yard and there'd be two groups lined up. These two groups have one captain. Another one has the other captain. And what do? They pick teams. I want him. I want her. Give me her. Give me him. Give me him. Do you realize that's what the Most High has done? Out of all the people that have been born on the face of the planet, the Most High said, when it was time to pick a team for the righteous, he picked you. See, you got to understand where you are with the Shabbat, because as it is in the heaven, as it shall be in the earth, as we are worshiping and giving honor to the Most High, what do you think they're doing in the Hashemayim? We have to be in sync with the heavenlies. You were picked to be a leader to everyone else. That's why I don't take it lightly when someone says to me, take a look at the covenant that you have in your flesh. Oh, I'm going to go somewhere with this one real quick. And take a look at the covenant that's in your flesh. It says what? This is your ticket. This is your pass to be a part of the Most High's people. Let me say something to the men real quick that are in here. I'm going to be a little vulgar. So if you've got young people, you might want to close up their ears, because I'm not holding back this morning at all. You men, you need to be careful who you put in your covenant in. That's the Most High's contract you're fooling with. Whatever it goes, it needs to be worthy to say this is what Hebrew Israel is going to be from this woman. Hebrew Israel is going to come out of. Do you want all this work that we're doing just to be germane to this time and then it's over? Because you don't understand what is in your flesh? The contract between your ancestor, Abraham? See, I'm already going already. See, this is what we call worship. What does it say? What did I say before? I said what? It's adoration for the Most High, irrespective of your situation. Okay? That's the Most High you serve. So, to the great Elohim, El Shaddai, I say Shabbat Shalom. The heavenly hosts are with us. They're worshiping today. Shabbat Shalom, giving honor and praise to the Most High first. Hebrews in exile. Hebrews in exile. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. For those of you that are here in our in-house audience, I say Shabbat Shalom to you. For those of you that are joining us by way of the stream, who couldn't be here, who wanted to be, Shabbat Shalom to you. Our new year has started already, and I've got a new resolution. I got a new Hebrew resolution, Kevin. You know what my new Hebrew resolution is? I'm not going to at all, no more, from this day forward, acknowledge our enemies as our enemies. Because I used to acknowledge our enemies. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm just going to acknowledge the unrighteous. Because you don't have to be my enemy to be unrighteous. Because what are they? They're the righteous and the unrighteous. So, for the righteous, Shabbat Shalom. To the unrighteous who may be joining, Shabbat Shalom again, and get right. Get right, get right. Last week, I'm so excited because this is the beginning of our new year. This is my first time I'm speaking in our new Hebrew calendar. And I'm thankful for the Most High for the things that He has bestowed upon me. I want to actually go through this real quick with you all here and those that are viewing by way of the stream. Last time I came to you, I talked about the Hebrew calendar. I did make some amendments to it, but I'm excited to present to you what it looks like. That's your calendar. That's your calendar. That's Hebrew. That's in Israel. That's your land. As promised, each month we'll have why we're doing those things in that particular month. So it keeps the mitzvot in front of you all the time while you're looking at the month. We begin with the new year. Why the year begins when it begins. When it ends, when it ends. Pesach, which is coming up for us. And the first season. Now, I just want to make one adjustment here and let you guys know there's a second month coming up right there where it talks about the Feast of Matzah. That's in Israel too. I made a point. There was a dear sister that brought to my attention this issue about Shava, actually the Feast of Matzah. And this is a day, the 23rd of our first month, is a day that we need to convene to observe because it's the waving of the sheaf when we talk about that, okay? I made that adjustment in there just real quick for all eyes and ears. Look at this. That's your land. That's some more of your land. We're going to talk about counting the Shavuot. That's your land too. Your waters are clear. I hope you knew that. Oh, excuse me. I made another adjustment. It's not on this one. But what did I do here? Right after Shavuot. Yes, the third month on the 12th. And the one that's getting published that's coming out, that one will have a red square on it too. That's the end of the 50-day counting period. That's supposed to be another day that we're supposed to remember, okay? So that's on there as well. This is your calendar. I wonder where that is. This calendar is being printed. I want to put this up here just for a little bit, so you have, and I want to actually say this because this is my first year doing this. This is my first time actually going through this process. And I understand that there's a lot of people who may be interested in this calendar itself. For the time being, email me at this email address. Tell me the quantity that you would like to have. I'm going to say this with no hesitation. Them calendars are $25 a piece, as they should be. Okay? There's a lot of work, a lot of study that went into it, a lot of graphic work went into it. All right? And if you're going to use it as a tool, you pay for your tools at work, why don't you pay for, okay, well, I'm going to go there. But email that email address. When you email that email address and tell me how many you want, I will actually email you back where you need to send on PayPal the information so you can go ahead and get your calendar. Okay? All right? We want to make this thing go viral. I actually want to put if you can't afford it, I actually want to put the calendar, and I need to get with you, Sister Cheryl, about putting it on the website so people can see it. Okay? There may be some people that just can't. And I understand that. And I don't want to limit the Most High's way of conducting business because you don't have a way. As far as digitally, that's the only place it's going to be. All right? Okay. Yes. Here we go. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I am so excited to begin this year because the Most High over this past week has shown me in my fasting and understanding and reading text the things that are on the horizon in the next year for us. We're going to be going through a lot. We're going to be going through a lot of information. We're going to be jumping into these apocryphal books. I got some teachings on the apocryphal books, especially on the book of Judith, if you've ever heard of that. It's a shame how I got licensed to do this because we came out of the Christian church. It's a shame that women have not been elevated in a Hebraic manner. Judith, the apocryphal book, is exemplification of that. Enoch, Jubilees, 1st, 2nd, 3rd Baruch. We're going to go through these apocryphal books because they confirm things that we know, especially in the book of Baruch. Baruch is a contemporary of Yeramehu. While Yeramehu is in Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar and his son, who knows what his son's name is? There you go. Say it loud. Belshazzar. Right? He's with him. Yeramehu is witnessing and talking about the mitzvot and trying to get the children of, or the empire of Israel to turn while they're in exile in Babylon. His contemporary Baruch is in the destroyed city of Zion, doing the same thing. It's interesting enough for me why I'm going through this to understand why Christianity told us to stay away from all of those apocryphal books, because they're so mitzvot heavy, it's not even funny. You can't even read them without even having an understanding of the mitzvot. It's going to sound like jibber jabber to you. It's going to sound like stammering of lips when you hear it, if you don't have a nice foundation in the Hebrew text. So excited. We're going to learn about David, King David, from a Hebraic perspective. But for now, we are going to go through our study and continue our study of Shemuel chapters 9 and 10. I welcome you if you're joining by way of the stream to First Tabernacle Fellowship. This is Hebrews in Exile. We're Yahweh's exile empire, and I am honored today to be able to present these two chapters for you. Now, previously, we have gone through chapter 9, have we not? And in chapter 9, we had a little bit of fun because we played Build-A-Man in chapter 9, right? Okay. We're going to go through chapter 9 again because we had some time in there where we dealt with the Hebrew calendar. Maybe a month or so, maybe even more. We left Shemuel and got a little off track. Now we're going to get back on track and walk all the way through kind of our star player here who's getting ready to take the court, which is King David, here in a couple of chapters. All right. In chapter 9, I'd like to tell you what we're doing. We're flying at about 37,000 feet. We'll be going about 450 miles per hour, and we'll arrive at our destination in about 56 minutes. Shemuel, chapter 9. Kish, his father, we get introduced to him. Shaul, our first king, our first Hebrew king. Shemuel is in this one. We hear about some donkeys, and then the dinner. In chapter 10, Shaul finds out his purpose. All right, we're going to find out a little bit about Shaul and his purpose. Today I'm going to be going to these particular places in our Masoretic text. And in the future, again, we're going to actually branch out and jump into these apocryphal books. And I'll make note of those so you can go ahead and research those as we go through them. I'm going to breeze through 9. I'm going to go do some cliff notes, okay? Revisit what we did last time, all right? Right out of the gate, chapter 9, verse 1 starts out that there was a man from Benjamin named Kish. And he had a son. And on down through his lineage, we get to this individual where his name is Shaul. That's in the second verse. Now, we have to stop and let's go back and get a mitzvot that's there, because the first king of Israel is from the tribe of Benjamin. You're already shaking your head. That's a problem. Why? It's got to come out of Yehuda. We got a problem already. Okay? So we know as Hebrews that, hey, this is kind of starting out failed. All right? Now, that's when we started playing Build-A-Man, because it says, as we go down a little bit further, it says there was no one better looking than he. So I asked all the ladies, I said, if you had to build your perfect man, what would he look like? Y'all said something like he's 6 foot tall. I think I remember you said he has hair. He's got a beard on him. He's wearing white. He's walking around with brown glasses on. Oh, it's me. Y'all got to stay with me. Come on. Stay with the jokes. It's like, you crossing the line. You're a little bit corny today, sir. Just move on. In verse 3, it says that there were some donkeys that belonged to his father Kish, and they got lost. So, Shaul goes out on this mission to find these donkeys. Hebrews, come on. Donkeys got lost. Think. Hebrews think. This is not a Clydesdale. This is not a thoroughbred that got lost. These are donkeys. They move slow. These are pack mules. Okay? They got lost. I see something here in this text that says there's a purpose for these donkeys. Out of all the animals that are there, we picked the slowest pack mule, stubborn animal to get lost. Somebody was sleeping on their job horribly when these things got lost. But there's a reason for them. Don't read the text and just say, oh, there was just some donkeys that got lost. There's a reason why they got lost. We're going to figure that out later on. Let's keep going. It said in verse 4, they went throughout the hills of Ephraim, and they didn't find them. They went out through all the territory and went out through all the territory of Benjamin. Verse 5, they reached the territory of Zuph, and Shaul said to his servant, come, let's go back. Otherwise, my father will stop thinking about us, because we've been out so long trying to find where these donkeys are. His servant said to him, hey, there's a man of El in the city, a man who's highly respected, and everything he says proves to be true. Let's go see him. How come the new king of Israel don't know who Shemuel is? He doesn't seem like a person that's really interested in these mitzvot at all, or being kind of, he's part of the culture, but it doesn't seem like he's really invested in it. You know, I would think that if you were righteous, that you would at least know who Shemuel is. He's in the previous text. It says what? Shemuel used to go around from city to city to city to city, where he would wind up in his city to where he came from, which I believe is Ramah. You got to fact check me on that one. But in 6, he said, let's go see this guy named Shemuel. They said, hey, listen, we don't have anything in our packs. We ate all the bread. We've been gone out so long, we've ate all of our bread. What do we have left? We have a little bit of money left. So, this is where we also saw here in verse 9, where it says, back in those days, in which the vernacular and parlance that we use in here is we don't call a prophet, we call a prophet a seer. That's what they were called. Your ancestors called them that. I'm going to take a little sidebar because I love my wife. She says to me, Pastor Charles, she says, this is your ancestor. It's your ancestor. You understand that? Your ancestor. You descend from kings. Moshe was your ancestor. Moshe used to talk face to face to the Most High. Why do you think you get down on your face and pray? You can't see the glory of the Most High. Most High talked to Moshe face to face. That's your ancestor. Y'all can't take this lightly. The servant replied, and they went and saw the seer and said, well, in verse 10, he said, well, Shaul answered, his servant said, come on, let's go. So they went to the city of El. And then what happens? Because this is a good looking man. This is a pretty boy. Okay? This is a pretty boy. All the girls come out. The females taking TikTok videos while he walking around. Taking selfies. Shaul, right there. Girl. Yeah, right. Let's do a live right now on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever y'all young people have. They came out. And they told him where he was, where Shemuel was. And they said, hurry. We're looking for the seer. He says, hurry. He's right up there. Didn't really point him out, but he says he's right up there ahead of you. And in verse 13, he says, find him soon as you enter the city before he goes up to the high place to eat, because the people won't eat until he comes and blesses the sacrifice. Whatever dinner they were having was pretty important. That means that there were some dignitaries that are there. I'm giving you all kinds of clues. There were dignitaries that are there. I'm dropping nuggets. I'm dropping breadcrumbs. Okay, so when this culminates in chapter number 10. So the dignitaries are there. This is a pretty big deal, this sacrifice or this feast. And he needs to come bless it, the sacrifice, before they can eat. In verse 14, it said they went up to the city, and as they entered the city, there was Shemuel coming out toward them to go up to the high place. See, the day before Shaul arrived, Yahweh given Shemuel a revelation. Okay, I want to take a sidebar here real quick and step on some toes. All right, I'm stepping on some toes. So I hope you got your gauze and your Band-Aids and all that other stuff. I'm going to bust up some corns here, okay? For those of you folk who want to associate yourselves with prophets and people that, oh, I got a vision, okay? Who can't tell you squat for detail. You need to bring yourself on over to this chapter and verse. Because sweetheart, how do you know about the Most High? You have a relationship. And how do you have that relationship? You have a conversation. You read. You spend time with the Most High. But isn't it better if we're having a conversation and I'm the one doing all the talking? I'm telling you about me. Yeah, I can read about you all day long, but I'm telling you about me. Okay? That kind of relationship. All right? So, boy, oh boy. I'm saying that because anytime that the Most High speaks, because we have a relationship and we know how the Most High's behavior is, we know that when the Most High gets ready to say something in a vision or a dream or something, he's very specific. He's not going to tell you something you're going to find love tomorrow. He's going to be tall. Yeah, there's a lot of tall guys, okay? It's not something that's very generic. Let's read it. It says, tomorrow at about this time, I will send you a man from the territory of Benjamin. That's specific. You're going to find a man tomorrow. Versus, there's a man, Hebraic, in the city of Atlanta, on Main Street. You see what I'm saying? Details. This is how your Most High operates. He doesn't talk in riddles and parables. You are to anoint him prince over my people, Israel. He will save my people from the power of the Philistine, because I have seen my people's situation, and their cry for distress has come to me. There's that crying out again. 17. When Shemuel saw Shaul, Yahweh said to him, this is Yahweh speaking to Shemuel. Here is the man that I told you about. Now, what we're going to find later on as we get further down, that there was more that the Most High told him in this vision, okay, that he gave him about this individual. This is just what's being revealed in 15 to us. It's just a portion of it. We're going to find out about it a little bit later on. He said, here's the man that I told you about, the one who is going to govern my people. 18. Shaul approached Shemuel at the gateway and said, please tell me where the seer's house is. That confirms he has no idea who this dude is. No idea. Shemuel answered Shaul. He says, I'm the seer. Go up ahead of me to the high place, because you are going to dine with me today. In the morning, I will let you leave, and I will tell you everything that is on your heart. So, we must know that Shemuel knows about these donkeys, because that's his purpose, right? But you don't know that yet, because the Most High didn't, well, at least it's not revealed in the text yet. So he's going to tell him something specific about it. It says, as for your donkeys, look at that in 20. I didn't have to go too doggone far. For your donkeys that got lost 3 days ago. How in the world would he ever know about these donkeys? He's never even met this guy. What is the Most High doing? He's revealing it, but he's validating Shemuel in front of him. Okay? You can trust this guy. Okay? For your donkeys that got lost 3 days ago, don't worry about them. They've been found. Now, who is it that all Israel wants? Because they have been asking for what? A king. It says, isn't it you? Oh, isn't it you and all your father's household? Shaul replied, I am only a man from Benjamin, the smallest tribe in Israel. Is that a true statement? Why? Why is that a true statement? I need to go ahead and take my seat and go ahead and sit down. Y'all know what? Too much about this Masoretic text. That's right. They got decimated. Okay? Yehuda, all of Israel, goes out and fights Benjamin over this issue of this one Hebrew woman that got slain in the territory of Benjamin. Benjamin gets decimated to the point where they only have, I believe, only 900 men left. They have 600 women, that are given to these men, and there's some more that are left over. And that's when they say, when the women came out from Shiloh, go grab them, and they had that oath and all that particular issue. So yes, that is true based on the pretext that we saw before. Benjamin is the smallest tribe. Why am I going through and recanting all this for you or going over this? Because you guys need to know when you read this stuff and it says, Benjamin, I was the smallest tribe in this, and you answer the question, why? You'll be able to know. All right? Context. Right? Your history. Your history. Your history. Your history. Why am I looking at you? Your history. Your history. Your history. Your history. Even your history here in the United States. For all of you, wait till I get to this teaching. All of you Native Americans, you Hebrew Native Americans who don't know it, your history. Oh, let me move on. Oh, let me move on. I'm wetting your whistle because when we get to King David, we're going to find out how these Native Americans are actually Hebrew. Hey, Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh. Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh. Maybe you don't know about your history. What do you think those teepees are? Sukkahs. When we transversed in the desert for 40 years, that's what they lived in. I can't give it all away to you. It's a whole entire teaching. It's a whole entire teaching. I can't give it to you now. It's bubbling in my spirit. I need to get it out. Y'all need to know about your history. Yafet lives in your tent, not in his. That's prophetic. That's in Bereshit. That was written thousands of years ago. If you were here as a Hebrew, and that text says that Yafet shall live in the tents of Shem, and Hebrew Israel is Shem. When the Europeans arrived here, whose tent were they living in? The tents of Shem they were living in. Oh, okay, come on, all right, I need to get off of that. See? It's coming. I'm telling you, once we get in sync with the Most High, we get in sync with the heavenly hosts that are down here in the earth, and we are worshiping at the same time. I'm telling you, this next Hebrew year is going to be cataclysmic. We are going to make everybody in here dangerous to fool with. Oh, come on, I got to get back in the text. I want to stay here, but I can't. I got to keep moving. Shaul replied, this is in 21, I'm only a man from Benjamin, the smallest tribe in Israel, and my family is the least important of all the families in the tribe of Benjamin. Why are you saying such things to me? Shemuel in 22 took Shaul and his servant and brought them to the room to have them sit in the reserved place. There were about 30 people there, invited guests. These are dignitaries. Why is he doing this? Again, he's making a scene for this guy so when he shows up later on for the inauguration, the elders already know who this guy is. We've seen him before. Nothing in this text, y'all, is by chance. You can't read it face value. Listen, all of your patriarchs are statisticians. They understand strategy. They understand master plan. They're not idiots. Who do you think gave them that? So when the Most High is in text, you have to look at text as an orchestration of a master plan. If something sounds odd or weird, it's not. There's a purpose for it later on. Okay? They have this dinner. Shemuel says, and here it says, here, skipping down a little bit further in 23, said, here, this is what remains. Put it in front of you and eat. It was kept especially for you until the right time, because this is the meal that he's being served. Because I said, I have invited people. So Shaul dined with Shemuel that day. On coming down from the high place to the city, he spoke to Shaul on the roof. He says to him in 26, they got up early, about daybreak. You Hebrews know when that is. Everything in this text we're going to explain. Shemuel called to Shaul on the roof, get up so I can send you on your way. Shaul got up, and the both of them, he and Shemuel went out. As they were going down at the edge of the city, Shemuel said to Shaul, tell the servant to go on ahead. So the servant went on, but you stand still now, because I want you to hear what El has said. Moves us into chapter number 10. Chapter number 10, verse 1. Then Shemuel took a flask of oil he had prepared and poured it on Shaul's head. He kissed him and he said, now, at every turn, what I'm going to do, if there's something that we need to bring out as far as a mitzvot, I'm going to bring it out. Is there any mitzvot that you know of about oil? Come on. There's a mitzvot about oil. All right, let's go read it. Bat Shemot, chapter 30, verses 22 through 33. Okay? Because I remember folk used to come up in here making this blend, thinking it was anointed when it was a desecration. Let's read it. 22. Then the El said to Moshe, Then the El said to Moshe. Then the El of Moshe said. I can say it a couple different ways. Take the following fine spices, 500 shekels of liquid myrrh, half as much, that is 250 shekels of fragrant cinnamon, 250 shekels of fragrant calamus, 500 shekels of cassia, all according to the sanctuary shekel, and a hin of olive oil. Make these into a sacred anointing oil, a fragrant blend, the work of a perfumer. It will be the sacred anointing oil. Then use it to anoint the tent of meeting. So what is this oil used to anoint? The tent of meeting. There's one of them right there. And what else? And the ark of the covenant. Covenant law. The table, that's two. The table and its articles, the lampstand and its accessories, the altar of incense, the altar of burnt offerings, and all the utensils, and the basin with its stand. You shall consecrate them so they will be most holy or set apart, and whatever touches them will be set apart. Here comes the mitzvot on it. Anoint Aharon. Who? Who? Aaron? Aharon. For those, shout out to Key and Peele for those who watched that. Principal, what is that? What is that? Teacher, what's his name? Mr. Garvey. Okay, Aaron. Anoint Aaron, Aharon, and his sons, and consecrate them so they may serve me as priests. Say to the Israelites, this is to be my sacred anointed oil for the generations to come. Do not pour it on anyone else's body, and do not make any other oil using the same formula. It is sacred, and you are to consider it sacred. Whoever makes perfume like it and puts it on anyone other than a priest must be cut off from their people. That means that you're not part of the empire anymore. There's a place called Sheol that's waiting for you. You are not to take this sacred oil. I only bring it up to say that if we jump back into chapter number 10, verse 1, it doesn't say, I don't want you to get this misconstrued, that this is the oil. Because that ain't the oil. This is a blend that Shemuel made. This is his own. Okay? Because the text is specific when it says it is to be anoint all the articles of the tent of meeting and Aharon and his sons as priests. Nobody else. We clear? Bobbleheading away. All right, very good. Yahweh said, let's go back to chapter number 10, verse 1. It says, Yahweh has anointed you to be prince over his inheritance. After you leave me today, you will find, see, here we go. This is the rest of the prophecy that we didn't hear about in chapter number 9. Okay? So this is what he told him. He says, after you leave me today, you will find 2 men by Rachel's tomb, specific, in the territory of Benjamin at Selzah, specific. They will tell you that the donkeys you were searching for have been found, specific, and that your father has stopped thinking about the donkeys and is anxious over you and asking, what am I to do about my son, specific. 3, go on from there. You will come to the oak of Tabor. 3 men will meet you there on their way up to El and Bet-El, specific. One of them will be carrying 3 kids. Say it with me, specific. Another 3 loaves of bread, and their third a skin of wine, specific. Then, they will greet you and give you 2 loaves of bread, which you are to accept from them, specific. 5, after that, we're not done yet. Oh my goodness. Look at all this detail. After that, you will come to Givah of El, where the Philistines are garrisoned. On the arrival at the city there, you will meet a group of prophets coming down from the high place, preceded by lutes, tambourines, flutes, lyres, and they will be prophesying. Specific. 6, the Spirit of Yahweh will fall on you. You will prophesy, and with them be turned into another man. When these signs come over you, just do whatever you feel like doing. Now, if we were in the old church, this is a springboard text right here. You could, they'll be off and running to the races. But see, that's not what we're going to do here. We're not like them, okay? We're going to give you a different kind of edification because we're going to provide enlightenment on the text instead of some orgasmic emotional thing that you're supposed to have. We ain't going to have that. All right? 6, or at least 7. As a matter of fact, we went through 7. Let's turn the page. 8. Then you are to go down ahead of me to Gilgal, and there I will come down to you to offer burnt offerings and present sacrifices as peace offerings. Wait there 7 days until I come to you and tell you what to do. Why is this being prophesied to him? Again, to validate Shemuel in front of Shaul. That this is just no by happenstance thing. I'm anointing you, and I'm letting you know that you are going to have all these things that are going to happen to you as a confirmation of my pedigree. So in 9, as it happened, as soon as he had turned his back to leave, El gave him another heart. He didn't have a heart for the Most High. So the Most High had to give him one. And all those signs took place that very same day. When they arrived at the hill, and there were in front of him a group of prophets, and the spirit of El fell on him, and he prophesied along with them. And those who knew him from before saw him there prophesying with the prophets. They asked each other, what's happened to Kish's son? Is Shaul a prophet too? 12. Someone in the crowd answered, must prophets, fathers be special? So it became an expression. Here is an expression that we can use as Hebrews. Okay? All right? I'm going to give you an example of this, how you should look at this, or at least how I've interpreted this. It says what? Is Shaul a prophet too? It came an expression. These people were flabbergasted at this dude. This is a pretty boy. Okay? We've never seen him do nothing about nothing of anything. And here he is prophesying like the other prophets. And Shaul was a prophet too? Let me give you another perspective on how to look at that. I'm only using you because you frowned. You tell me that you have all these talents that are over here. And then I find out that you're a master painter or a master carpenter. And Kevin's a carpenter too? Some of you found out just a second ago that I do graphic artist work. Does he play the drums, teach, do all this other stuff, and he's a graphic artist too? And Shaul was a prophet too? It's an expression to simply just say, man, you have something that I didn't know that you had. And it became an expression from henceforth. So if you ever hear me in the future, which I will say, is Shaul a prophet too? You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? An expression. You're learning your colloquialisms about when you're in the land and how we talk to each other and communicate. 16. Shaul answered, let me go back. 13, When he had finished prophesying, he arrived at the high place. Shaul's uncle, remember this guy. He's going to come up again. I believe later on he's going to be introduced as one of his commanders of his army. Later on, once he takes the throne. So Shaul's uncle said to him and his servant, "Where did you go?" He answered, to look for the donkeys. When we saw that they hadn't been found, we went to Shemuel. "Tell me, please," said Shaul's uncle, "what Shemuel said to you." 16. Shaul answered his uncle, "He told us that the donkeys had been found, but said nothing to him about the matter of his being made king." Why? Why do you think he doesn't want him to know? I think it's a quite simple answer. If I deduce it in my mind, you're a pretty boy. You have, listen, entertainer right now, pretty boy. Who? Name me somebody. Entertainer, come on. Usher, who? Who? Neo? Okay, she said Neo. You see all them faces over here on the side. Neo. Yeah, he can't see. He got them eyes. He just who? I said we got Neo. Michael B. Jordan. Okay. Who else? Shamar Moore. Who? Chris Hemsworth? Okay, pretty boy. Now, who? Sean Appleton. Kevin Holman. You want to use Kevin Holman? Let's use Kevin Holman. I like that one. See, because Kevin Holman is tangible. You can see him. He's here. All right? Let's use him. Let's bring the house down with Kevin Holman. So Kevin Holman. All muscled out, tall, green eyes, hazel eyes. Kevin Holman. Now think about this. Somebody came to Kevin Holman right now and said, President Biden is no longer wanting to take office. Kamala Harris does not want to be the president. You are now the president of the United States. Kind of apprehension you got going through your mind. You've just been anointed the king over the Most High's people. You have no kind of experience at all. This is not something that I'm welcoming. I don't know what this entails. So until I figure out really what's going on here, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Okay? Okay? Yes, exactly. At least it was smart. Plus, I know a lot of people in here, even if you looked at it a different way. Let's flip it and do it a different way. Let's use Kevin Holman again. Kevin Holman goes and plays the California Lotto, and he wins $500 million. Do you think Kevin Holman is going to tell any of you that he won any money? I'm going to be collective. Man, yeah, I need to go back to Target and get some more shoes. I mean, I don't have no money. Money's tight. God. Because here come everybody. Okay? Practical. We're practical people. You don't have to make this harder than what it is. So he keeps his mouth shut. Okay? Mum's the word. All right? So, 17. Oh, excuse me. Let's go back and get 16. It says, Shaul answered his uncle. Let's go over it again. Said, he told us that the donkeys had been found, but said nothing to him about the matter of his being made king. 17. Shemuel summoned the people to Yahweh at Mizpah. Okay? And said to the people of Yisrael, here's what Yahweh, the El of Yisrael, says. This is the State of the Union address. Everybody's at this. Everybody is seeing and having this thing unfold. Shemuel is called a special meeting for all of Israel to be at. To tell Israel, this is what Yahweh has said. I brought up Israel. Oh, come on. I should have you read this. Yeah, you. Know why? Isn't this your testimony that you said when we said our New Year's thing and we podcast? We always tend to do the same thing. Yahweh that what? Brought our ancestors out of Mitzrayim. Let us see these plagues of our oppressor, transversed us through the desert, gave us your mitzvot, your commandments, so we could be righteous. Okay? Look at what he starts out and says. It's a trait of Hebrews. We all do the same thing, and your ancestor did the same thing, just like you did unwittingly. What does he say? It says, I brought up Israel from Mitzrayim, Egypt. I rescued you from the power of the Egyptians and from the power of all the kingdoms that oppressed you. But today, you have rejected your El, who himself saves you from all your disasters and distress. You have said to him, no, put a king over us. So now, present yourselves before Yahweh by your tribes and families. This is not something that he's joyous about. See, because Shemuel had to get checked by the Most High about this earlier, didn't he? They're not rejecting. Come on. They're rejecting me. Give them what they want. And we're going to see that this is a good trial run for the empire of Israel, because this dude ain't going to last long at all. Okay, so we ain't got to worry. King David is right around the corner, and wait till we get to him. The king. Can I give you one more about Native Americans and your people? Oh, can I give you one more? Goliath was beaten by a ruddy redhead kid. Pop! Wonder what kind of weapons the Native Americans was using too. You'll find out that one of the weapons that the Native Americans used is a sling. You'll find out why they are like the way they are, the weapons that they use, because it has everything to do that when Israel was taken captive. Come on, when Israel was taken captive and they were against the Philistine didn't allow anybody from Israel to go down into Philistine to have any of their pieces of metal sharpened. So, if I'm not allowing you to sharpen your knives or your ox goads or anything that you have that's sharp, what do you have to learn how to do if you don't have any weapons? Use what you have. Why do you think King David was so cold-blooded with that sling? It's because of what the Philistine put in place. It was a policy, like the United States government. They put a policy in place. We got to find out how to do something else. Come on. I'm telling you, at a moving target, this is a big dumb dude talking noise, standing still, wolfing. Oh, you ain't gonna move? Okay. But wait till we get there, because that's a part of King David. King David and the Native Americans. We're gonna go over that. Okay. Let's get back here. Now, I want to bring something up. Let's go back to this. It says, so now, present yourselves before Yahweh by your tribes and families. We've seen something like this before in the past, where individual got picked by way of what? Way of lot. We used to talk about in the old church how they used to say, okay, casting lots was an evil thing. You shouldn't cast lots. Hebrews do it all the time. It's a part of your culture. So what they end up doing before was what? They had a bag or some sorts. They had some type of yes or no or some type of tribe that was in there, and they would pull the tribe out of the bag. It's like, like a rally. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally random, and only the Most High knows who's coming out of the bag. And they're leaving it up to the Most High, not to chance. So this is what's happening here. And we're going to see evidence of that. It says, so Shemuel had all the tribes come forward. All the tribes come forward, all right? And the tribe of Benjamin was chosen. How? By what I was saying. They cast lots. Who came out? Benjamin. That way we don't have to go through all 12 tribes and all of the families in all 12 tribes. We'd be here all day. Okay? He had the tribe of Benjamin come forward by families. And the family of Matri was chosen. And Shaul, the son of Kish, was chosen. So his name was pulled out. We got the tribe, and we got the tribal leaders. We got to go down through these families, and his name was pulled. But when they looked for him, he couldn't be found. He's the tallest one here, and he can't be found. No one knows where the tallest man, the sexiest, tallest man in Israel is. You mean to tell me that nobody knows where he is? He hit himself real good. Okay? Yahweh answered, because only Yahweh knew. Here he is, hiding in among the equipment. Now, like we had said before, just being practical, why is this dude hiding? He's scared. He has no idea what he's getting ready to get into. Okay? Not a clue. This cat know how to dress, and that's just about it. Okay? Harry is hiding amongst the equipment. They ran and brought him from there. And when he stood among the people, he was head and shoulders taller than anyone. Shemuel said to all the people, do you see the man Yahweh has chosen? Yeah, I know, sweetheart. Do you see the man Yahweh has chosen? That there is no one like him among all the people. Then all the people shouted, long live the king. He's validated already. Why? Because we've seen him already at this dinner. So you see how the Most High is orchestrating all of the things that are happening here in these two chapters? Let's think about it from a practical standpoint. Okay? If Shaul is going to be anointed and be king, how in the world is he going to meet Shemuel? How is he going to meet him? He used the donkeys to get him to come out to look for them, because Shemuel was on his circuit. What did also the Most High do? He made sure that he was validated amongst the elders before it happened. So when we have this meeting later on, folks, we don't have people saying, well, who is this son of Kish who is going to be our king over us? He put him in a place of prominence at this dinner to establish his pedigree. This is the man that sits beside me. His name is Shaul. All of you should know who he is. I'm not going to reveal to you why, but that will all come in due time. You see, you have to see the string of masterful chess that the Most High is moving pawns and moving rooks and different things on that chessboard to put the king in a position so where he won't get checkmated. But we come to find out that he will get checkmated later on by his predecessor, which I don't know who that is. You know who his predecessor is? A little ruddy boy. Little ruddy boy. This little ruddy boy. Yeah, they said that he was a good-looking man, that King David had features about him that made him very attractive to the woman folk in a good way. So they said, "Long live the king." Shemuel told the people what kinds of rulings should be made in the kingdom, then wrote it on a scroll. This is the reason why, folks, I'm going to take a little sidebar real quick here and say this again. Don't be afraid of the extra books that are Masoretic and Hebraic that are outside of this canonized work called the Tanakh. Okay, I think it's fair and safe to say that. We have an indication right here that there are extra pieces of information that we don't have access to that explain about our history, that explain about a lot of different things that are germane to Hebrew Israel. Okay? Don't be afraid of those books. Again, if you're going to jump into those books, a prerequisite, just like you're in college and they say you have to take these prerequisite courses in order to take Calculus 2, you got to go through Calculus 1, trigonometry, all these different sciences and math before you get to calculus. In order to get into the apocryphal books, you're going to need to have a good, strong understanding of these mitzvot. Okay? That's why they were a mystery to us.
They've been done away with.
Wow. See, I'm going to tell you something about Hebrews. Just like I said, and Shaul's a prophet too. Now you know what that's all about. When Hebrews here, they've been done away with, that's triggering. That should trigger everybody in here. You should be ready to go in battle mode when somebody says they've been done away with. You should have a list of items that you can just put out there just like Spider-Man and just pop their mouth, just put the web right on their mouth like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The very same thing that keeps you alive in righteousness, you're saying is irrelevant and has been done away with and has no bearing on anything. Who made that decision? You? Or did the Most High come down and say that? The Most High would never do with anything that he's established that establishes righteousness. That when he has to open the books at the end of days, he's going to say, who are the righteous? By what standard? The mitzvot that you're saying have been done away with. So what does that make you? That makes you the unrighteous. And there is a place for you. And we're going to get into it in the second book of Baruch. It's an apocryphal book. There are 3 books in the book of Baruch. In the book of Baruch, it talks about end times. It talks about the 12 different phases that the Most High is going to put on the earth as an indicator. And those that are wise will be able to disseminate what's going on at that particular time so you can gauge when end time is coming. When the Most High gets to the very end, when he raises those that have been in the dust, he will judge them on the basis of righteousness. Okay? Okay. All right, I got to go here. When your prophets, when your master teacher, Moshe, he says something. He says, I call upon heaven and earth. Why does he do that? I'm going to pass away. Most of you in here are going to pass away. There may be something outside, a tree, grass, I don't care what it is. Those things can pass away. Heaven and earth won't. So I call upon heaven and earth as a witness because they'll be here to the very end when everything has been destroyed and everything is gone. I call upon those two to witness about the Most High, about the Most High's goodness, about this covenant that I have between me and my people. Those 2 witnesses I've established as a witness because they'll never pass away. That's why when we get over there in you guys' text in Matthew, 17, and you read on down and it says, not one yod or stroke or until heaven and earth pass away. Even Yeshua knew that. He knew that. What was that? Bro, but it's done away with. 25. Let's get back here and finish it on out. Shemuel told the people what kinds of rulings should be made in the kingdom, then wrote it on the scroll and set it down before Yahweh. After that, he sent all the people away, everyone to his own home. Shaul too went home to Giv'ah, accompanied by warriors whose hearts El had touched. Even though this young man or gentleman didn't know a thing about running a country, he's going to surround him with people that have a heart for the Most High. He's not going to set him up for failure. Yes, this is going to be a teaching lesson for all of us and as Hebrew Israel, but he didn't set him up to fail. That was by choice that he did what he did. 26, again, Shaul too went home to Giv'ah, accompanied by warriors had touched. 27, true, there were some scoundrels who said, "This man save us." What did I just get done telling you? Why he put him in the place next to him at the dinner? Because of this right here. Individuals, probably from the elders, would have said, "Who is this dude that you are bringing in here to reign over top of us?" So what did they say? They said, "True, there is some scoundrels who said, 'How can this man save us?' They showed him no respect and brought him no gift, but held his peace."